Masters in Management, or MIM, is an up-and-coming degree for students who want to get into management roles or business-related fields early in their career. The traditional way to get into these roles were either to take a bachelor's degree in management or to take an MBA later, with some work experience in hand. So the Masters in Management degree allows students from all kinds of fields to get into management roles or business fields early in their career, without waiting for that work experience like you do for the MBA. So the question becomes, how do you choose between an MBA and an MIM degree, and what is the difference? So here's the basic difference between an MBA and an MIM degree. You can see the summary, the duration, eligibility, exams, cost, and why you should be doing the degree. However, this is not the kind of information that will help you make a decision between an MIM and an MBA. So what I like to do when I compare two different degrees is I like to look at the content, what exactly are you going to be learning in each of these degrees, the career, what is your career going to look like after you graduate, and the wealth, how much money are you going to make, after you have graduated from these two degrees. So first up, let's look at the content of an MIM and an MBA degree. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put up on the screen the actual topics that you will be learning in an MIM and an MBA degree. As you can see, these are all, super business related concepts. So if you like, business related stuff, then these are the kind of degrees that you should be pursuing. So before I get to the differences, what I want to do is I want to talk about the similarities between these two degrees. The first thing is that both of these degrees allow you to switch from your current stream into a business related field. So if you are let's say an electronics engineer, or you have like a bachelor's in psychology or journalism and so on, and you want to switch into like a management or a business related degree, then an MIM and an MBA will help you do that. Both of these programs also encourage extracurricular activities. Because they're both management related programs, they really emphasize on networking, right? That means meeting new people, building connections, and extracurriculars are a great way for students of each of these programs to do that. Both of these programs also offer the ability for you to study in a different country. They'll have like maybe a couple weeks for you to spend in a different country, or maybe like one full semester, depending on the college. You'll get to fly to the new country, study there for a while, learn about their economy, learn about the market, learn about the challenges they face, and so on. Now, of course, for an MBA program, because it's a little bit longer, this experience will be a little bit more immersive and therefore more effective. But an MIM program will also have a global education kind of experience as well. One major difference between an MIM and an MBA is that because MBA graduates come with a lot of experience, MBA programs tend to be really practical, right? Versus the MIM program, which is more theoretical, because the students that take up the MIM generally don't have a lot of experience. So you'll find that in an MIM program, you'll be learning a lot of business theory, versus in an MBA program, you'll be not only learning the theory, but you'll also be doing a lot of practical-based study, case studies, and all of that. And in an MBA program, there'll be people from all walks of life with different kinds of experience. So you get to have a more collaborative environment, which ultimately, leads to better learning. Another advantage of the MBA is that because it's a longer degree, it also allows you to specialize in a particular area. Now, the MIM, how it works is, you'll have to take a couple of courses, and then you'll have to take an elective. So generally, these electives, you'll be only allowed to take like some 3 electives and stuff, and that's not really enough to specialize. Whereas in an MBA program, yes, they will have some common courses you need to take, but then the amount of electives that you can take later will be greater in amount, therefore allowing you to specialize in one particular business-related field. For example, finance or accounting, risk analysis, strategic decision-making, all that kind of stuff. One final note I want to discuss before we move to the career is that I want you guys to know that you can take an MBA after you take an MIM. This means that if you take an MIM, you learn the business-related concepts and, you get into some kind of management role. After a couple of years of working, having work experience in hand, you can apply for an MBA program and then take that degree as well. Now, some universities will encourage students who have already completed MIM programs to take an MBA program that's a little bit shorter, maybe like 1 year or 1.5 years, simply because they've already covered the basics of management in their MIM program. Next, we're looking at the kind of career you'll have after taking an MIM degree or taking an MBA degree. Now, like I said, of course, both of these degrees allow you to specialize in a business-related field, like financial accounting, risk management, all the kind of things that I spoke about earlier. On top of that, you can also take up a management role in your original stream. So suppose you were like an electronics engineer and you chose to take like a master's in management. After graduating, you can work in like an electronics related field, in an electronics related company, but at a management role, right? Maybe you could be leading a couple of interns or trainees or so on. The main difference between the careers of an MIM graduate and MBA graduate is that MIM graduates usually get entry-level positions, like management trainee and so on, versus MBA graduates usually get mid-level or high-level positions, like vice president or maybe general manager and so on. This is not because of the value of the degree, it's more because of the experience. So like I said, people who are MIM graduates tend to have less experience than those who are MBA graduates. So because of their experience, MBA graduates get these higher level positions versus MIM graduates that end up with entry-level positions simply because they don't have the level of seniority that MBA graduates would generally have. Next, let's look at the kind of money you'll be making with an MIM or an MBA degree. Now, generally, MBA is the highest paid degree. So obviously, MBA graduates will be paid more than MIM graduates. Now, this is mostly because, like I said, of the seniority of the MBA graduates over the MIM graduates. So because of that work experience, MBA graduates get to higher positions than MIM graduates. And because they both focus on high income areas, both degrees have high return on investment, so you'll definitely be able to pay back that student loan. So the only question is, how do you choose between an MIM and an MBA? The best part is you can have both, right? You can take an MIM now and then wait a couple of years, gather some work experience, and then do an MBA later. So then the follow-up question is, should you take an MIM now and then have some work experience and then take an MBA? Or skip the MIM, just directly work for a while and then take an MBA? Well, if you want to get into management roles or business-related fields right away without waiting, then an MIM is a degree for you. But if you're interested in working on your own field, and gaining some work experience and then progressing to leadership roles, then you can skip the MIM degree, just directly work and then take an MBA degree later. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple links in the description to MIM and MBA programs so you guys can sort of explore and see what you're going to be learning as a part of these degrees and so on. Thank you so much for watching this video. If this video helped you, leave a like, I would really appreciate it, and subscribe if you want to see more graduate program related content. That's it from me for now, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.